What is up, guys? ClimaxCombo here, back with another video. I'm Licious Kid.
I am Chikars.
And today we have another top 10 video, this time featuring the highly anticipated Lycoris Recoil set. I did watch this anime, and I enjoyed it. I think it's very cute. Chisato and Takina are obviously in love and are very cute.
Dang.
I am personally on Team Takina. If you guys are also on Team Takina, let us know down below.
I have not watched it, but I think I would be on Team Takina.
I'm a sucker for her trope, so, you know, I'm biased. But Chisato is very cute, too. And together, they're a match made in heaven. Anyways, guys, like always, we're going to go over our top 10 favorite cards in this video. Not always necessarily the strongest cards, but just the cards that we like. We try to mix some fun cards along with the obvious strong cards in the set. And you guys like this type of content, let us know in the comments below, or you guys can like and possibly subscribe. Maybe. and maybe even hit the bell icon if you so please. But anyways, I guess we'll get to it. But just to mention, every card in the set is either Lycoris Recoil or Rico or Weapon, so there's no chances of missing Synergy. But to start things off, we got this 1/1 Majima for our number 10 card. He is 2k power. He's an assist. All your characters in front of him gain the following effect of when this card is reversed. If your stock is less than your opponent's stock, you can send this card to stock. And as a startup, you can pay to rest him to salvage a character. So I think this card's pretty interesting. I think more of a tech card. If your opponent is getting a more stock, or you just don't want to get a lot of stock because you want to keep paying 2 to salvage a card with his effect. You know, all your characters pretty much refill themselves. Because even when they attack and then they die, they send themselves to stock. So, you know, even your 3/2s will refill themselves on your 2/2s. Because they attack and you get a stock, and when they die, you get a stock. So, I think more of a tech card. Maybe you run 1. I don't think you should run 2, but, you know, I think it's fun.
Yeah, pretty interesting card. Pretty fun. For number 9, we have this level 3 Takina. 95 base, blue. When she's played from hand to stage or from memory to stage, all your characters get plus 3k power. When she is reversed, send her to memory, and she has memory experience effect. At the start of your climax phase, while she's in memory and you have 2 or more of the level 0 TD Chisato, which we'll talk about later, or the level 0 Takina, which I'll talk about in a second, in your level zone, you can pay cost, which is discard 2 cards to play her on an empty slot on your stage. And the level 0 Takina that is in her effect is an uncommon blue card, 1500 power. When this is played on stage from hand, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose a event from among them, add it to your hand, and if you did, you can discard a card. And then the second effect is when she's played from hand to stage, if you have 2 or less characters in your memory, you choose one of those level 3 Takina in your waiting room and send it to memory. This card is pretty neat. Good that she can get sent to memory, so that way at level 2 is pretty much when you want to do this, to bring her out, which is when you can. You get to pump all your characters 3k power, which is a nice boost. And it's just a neat card. Pretty cool. Pretty cool effect. Pretty cool.
I like it. I think the fact that I come out at level 2 makes it really strong, because the few times I've seen this effect, I feel like it only comes out at 3. And then by 3, you want heals and other cool on plays, not just a 3k power boost. So her coming out at 2, I think, gives it a lot more value. And Lycoris Recoil, clearly they're kind of going for a gate build, 8 gates or 8 pants, 4 gate, 4 pants. So it should be easy to have the hand size to do this once or twice in a match. And the 0 you run it along with is actually, both 0s are pretty good. So
yeah.
Don't see.
It's not a demerit.
I think in certain builds, this card will be good. Next up, for our number 8, we got this interesting 0/0 500 power Chisato. She has 2 effects. When your characters trigger check a gate, build the top 4 cards of your opponent's deck. Second effect, it's a pay 1, rest your brainstorm, mill 4. Every climax you hit, check top 3 cards of your deck, put 1 to your hand, and send the rest to waiting room. So this card, I think it's just cool just because of that first effect. The fact that you get to mill your opponent 4, I think it's just cool. It's just fun to see cards that mess with your opponents a little more. feel like they took out a lot of those effects with like anti-heal, anti-salvage. So it's always fun when Bushiroad brings something like this, kind of like the Neptune in Puzzles and Dragons. So the fact that this is a mandatory mill for is what I think holds this card back a lot. If it was optional, it might be kind of broken.
Yeah.
But it's fun. We'll see how this pans out. Maybe in a future set, if they make this a double R and make it a May ability.
Oh, God.
Might be a little crazy.
That would be
but
so nuts.
For now, it is balanced by the fact that it's a May.
Pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, our number 7 is another Brainstormer. Double R yellow, Kurumi, 2K base. When a climax is placed in your climax area, you can look at the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck and put them back in any order that you so choose. And the second effect is the Brainstorm. Pay 1, rest her, mill 4 for every climax, salvage a character. Very cool effect to have on the Brainstorm and for this set specifically. Synergizes a lot. Being able to look at the top 2 whenever you climax combo helps you decide your attacks. You can place climaxes however you want. You can see if there's 2 characters and push for extra damage. There's a lot you can do with it. And throughout a game, that effect will add up. Hopefully. Pretty strong.
Pretty cool. Very good. Very fitting of Kurumi as well. On to our number 6, we got the big finish that Bushiroad is pushing for with the set. It's this 3-2 Chisato and the 3-2 Takina. They synergize together and are supposed to be played together, so we'll go over them together. But what Chisato does is when she's played from hand to stage, you can salvage a character. Second effect, this effect activates up to once per turn. At the end of this card's attack, if you have the gate and you have 2 or more characters, you can pay 3, discard a card. If you do, stand terror. And then now the Takina, 3-2 10k as well. Once placed from hand to stage, you can heal. Combos with the same gate. So when you play the gate, you can put one of those level 3 Chisatos that I just talked about in your hand underneath her as a marker. If she's in your front row, you can do that. If you do, all your characters get plus 3k and the following effect of when this card attacks, send the top card of your opponent's deck to the waiting room. If that card is a level 0 or lower, deal 1 damage to your opponent. So this combo, the potential is very high. Right now I'm imagining it as the optimal ending is maybe 1 Takina and 2 Chisatos, but maybe you could even do 2 Takinas and 1 Chisato if you're not having too much size in your hand, or not having a lot of stock. So I think there's multiple ways to go around this, but I think the 2 Chisato and 1 Takina is gonna be the ideal play. If you want to do something like that, with that setup, you're gonna need 8 stock at the start of your turn, and then, with 8, you can play the 3 characters and get the double attack off with both Chisatos. So that's 5 attacks and 5 potential mills, which means 5 potential ping 1s, which is a lot of damage. If you hit a climax with these along the way, your opponent will most likely die. But of course, the downside is if you don't hit climaxes, or zeros, you're just gonna be helping your opponent cancel that much more to their next climax. So, the potential is high and the low is definitely there. It does cost a lot of resources. Like I said, if you want to do the 2 Chisato, 1 Takina, that's 8 stock. And don't forget, you do have to discard cards along the way for Chisato. And you gotta put the level 3 Chisato from your hand underneath Takina as a marker to even get the first effect, her effect off. It helps a lot that the Takina will start chugging you, characters into your hands as you play them. And the fact that as they attack, they can trigger more gates and more pants, which obviously this build's going for, to help refill the hand. So with a little luck, you might not need the optimal setup at the start of your turn to get them off. Like I said, if you don't have that much stock, you can always just do the double Takina and maybe 1 Chisato. Maybe that's better. But I think it's cool. It's a lot of fun. A lot of variance, which makes it exciting. It also has really good synergy with the 0-0 Kurumi we talked about, because your first attack, you can kind of maybe guarantee the combo, or at least kind of have an idea if it's going to work or not. So It's cool.
It's pretty cool.
Not the most consistent, but it's fun. And, you know, Takina, Chisato, you know, very cute together. So
there's a lot of ways this could fall apart.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But hopefully with some luck, it will pop off.
Yeah.
So I think it requires a lot of experimenting and there will be a lot of variants. But if anything, it's fun.
Next up, one of the cards that will help that combo pop off. Number 5, level 3 Chisato in yellow. It's an early play. If you have 2 or less climaxes in your waiting room, this gets -1 level in your hand. If you have 2 or more other characters, this gets plus 2k power, making her 11-5 base very easily. And during this card's attack, you can perform the trigger check twice during your trigger step. So the fact that she double triggers for free is what makes the card so good. She pays for herself when you get her out and helps you rebuild your resources, your stock for your combos later. And the fact that she's 11k or 11-5 base is also pretty nice. Means that she can stick around a little easier. And if you get more than one of those double triggers off, she is really helping you out a lot. So very, very good card. Next up, we have a card from TD. This level 0 Chisato, red, 1500 base. She is a runner, and her second effect is when she's sent from stage to waiting room, you can pay 1, put the top card of your deck into your clock, and then salvage a character from your waiting room. So runner plus Riki effect pretty much on one card is pretty nuts. A lot of value. Running is like the best 0 effect to have. And then just it pluses you when it dies. It's pretty insane how much advantage you could get from this card. This card does a lot. Crazy strong.
Next up for number 3, we have another 002K Takina double R. 2 effects during your turn of all your characters are Lycoris or weapon, she gets plus 2k. Second effect, when your other Lycoris or weapon character is friend attack, you can pay 1, send it to waiting room. If you do, return this card to your hand. So that second effect is always solid. It always kind of really depends on what the other effect is for cards like this, and this one's actually really good. The fact that she is 4k on offense is the reason why we think this card is strong. A lot of zeros nowadays are 3k, 3-5. So being able to hit 4k on a good secondary effect is why we think this card's so good. So it's really solid.
Gonna kill anything, get you a lot of value the whole game.
Good early and good late. What's not to love?
For our number 2, we have yet another level 0. Very good. Double R Majima in red. 1500 base. Well, when he's placed on stage from hand, and you have another character, he gets plus 2k power, making him 3500 base, or 3500 on offense. And second effect is when this is reversed, you can look at the top, or you can discard a card to look at the top 4 cards of your deck and choose a character from among them, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, send the rest to waiting room. So it's very similar to the level 0 Kito from the anniversary booster. Really strong. It is 500 more power, so it's a great beater on your turn to reverse things. And when he's reversed, he helps set up your hand, mill through your deck. And the fact that you can grab anything is what makes that effect very strong on him. Usually these are restricted to level 1 or higher, but you can grab zeros with him, which is crazy. So just crazy strong. Number 2. I mean, this card's great.
And like always, before we get to our number 1, we're going to go over a couple honorable mentions. The first one we want to mention is this 1-0-R combo, 4500 power, Chisato and Takina. She's got a couple effects. If all your characters are Lycoris or weapon, she gets plus 1k. When she attacks with this gate, if you have 2 or more characters, look at top 4 cards of your deck, choose a character or this very specific event amongst them, add it to your hand, so the rest of waiting room, and choose one of your opponent's character, and until the end of your opponent's next turn, it gains the following effect of this card cannot move to another slot on the stage. Just want to mention this just because we think this is the best 1-0 combo for this set. The 1-0 combos in the set are a little... They're average, they're decent, they're playable, but nothing really spectacular. But we think this is the best one. And the event this card grabs is kind of lackluster, so I'm not going to really mention that. But it works. And the fact that you can freeze one of your opponent's character is what makes it potentially really good. If Standby ever becomes crazy meta, then this card will be like crazy good. But as of this recording right now, Standby isn't the strongest, like not really dominating that much. So a little less value right now, but there's more potential of this in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we got another Takina and Chisato card. This is a 3/2 10k from the trial deck. When this is placed from hand to stage, you can discard a card. If you do, put the top card of your clock to stock. Second effect, when this attacks, if you have this pants, you can pay 2. If you do, deal 2 damage. So pretty boring effect. I mean, we've seen it a lot, and I feel like a lot of these level 3 trial deck cards are getting this effect. Like we just saw Pad with this exact same effect, except this time this doesn't have to reverse anything. So I mean, it gets the job done. It's solid. It's a lot easier to get off because you don't have to kill anything, and she does refill her own stock, or she refills 1 stock on play. You attack with it. It pretty much covers itself. So it's a decent game ender. If you're not really feeling the 3/2 Chisato and Takina Wombo combo, maybe this will be the game ender of choice, because it's just, it's just good old reliable burn 2,
Yep.
Yep.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong with burn 2 on attack. So.
Lastly, for our honorable mentions, we do have another early play, level 3 Chisato in red. She's a double R, 8k base. If you have 4 or more Lycoris or weapon characters, she gets -1 level in hand. And when she's played from hand to stage, you can heal 1. And the last effect, when this is placed from hand to stage, if you have the level 0 double R Takina in your waiting room, until the end of your opponent's next turn, she gets plus 3k power, making her 11k. So this card's pretty good. The level 0 Takina double R is really strong, so it's not very hard to make sure you have her. And very easy condition to come out early. It's just a really solid early play heal that has the potential to stick around. Just another good early play option. Wanted to mention it.
We just think the other 3/2 Chisato yellow one just has better synergy in this set. So, but if you're not going for that, there's definitely the level 3 of choice. And lastly, for our number 1 card, it's going to be a pair of cards. It's going to be this 2/1 Mizuki and this 1/0 Mizuki. So this 2/1 is 5k power. It has 2 effects. It's an assist. All your characters in front of her get plus 500 power and plus 1 soul. And second effect activates up to once per turn. When you use a startup, you give one of your characters plus 1k. The second card is a 1/0 3k Mizuki. It's got 3 effects. It's an assist in front. All your characters get plus 500 power. Second effect, when your other Ryuko or weapon character is sent from stage to waiting room, you can send her to the waiting room if she's in your back row. If you do, place that character in its previous slot in rest. And the last effect is when this card is sent from stage to waiting room, you can pay 1, discard a card. If you do, choose that 2/1 Mizuki in your waiting room and replace her. So we think this 2/1 Mizuki is really strong, solely for the fact that she gets plus 1 soul. The fact that you can start doing that at level 1 is kind of really good in our opinion.
Yep.
I mean, just making all your 1/0s into 2 soul swings, it's just kind of crazy. If your opponent is just having like a mediocre game or mediocre luck or bad luck, they're gonna die really fast from this.
Yeah.
And the card and the fact that it can come out pretty easily is why we think it's good. And the 1/0 is actually a really good card, so it's not even like you're not really crippling your deck to get this off. I mean, it's a pseudo encore, and when you do it, you could play the 2/1. And it's just pay 1, discard a card. It's not even really a cost. It's like you're playing the character for its original cost. And yeah, it's like you're not hurting your deck, and it's very cheap, and you get plus 1 soul out early. And as we saw with the 0/0 Majima, it's a good lot of, that's a good way to start milling your deck early to even get the 2/1 in the waiting room. Just think there's a lot of value you can get with this throughout the game.
Yeah, really good. Probably the coolest card and best card. I mean, I think it works well with an 8-gate build. You're gonna be plussing in characters. You can kind of have like a pseudo aggro build, being able to push a bunch of damage early without having to run gold bar to combo every turn. That's crazy.
Yep, the set does not have green, as you guys may have noticed.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah, it's just yellow, red, blue.
Cool. Cool. With that being said, that does wrap up our top 10. Do we think this set is gonna make any waves in the meta? Don't think so. I think it's unlikely.
We can't, we never want to say things, with the, everything's possible.
Yeah.
We thought about with Puroseka, and here we are. But I mean, the only build I can really see this set popping off with is kind of like we're envisioning like the 3-2 Chisato Takino Wombo combo with the 2-1 Mizuki to help push more different damage, with the 1-0 double R gate combo, with the 3-2 early drop Chisato, that one that double triggers. It's kind of the build we're envisioning. And I think the high variance behind the 3-2 Chisato Takino combo with the extra soul damage from the Mizuki can be really strong, and they do have really good zeros.
Yeah.
Just the level 1s and the level 2 game is just very lackluster.
Yeah, for sure.
But the potential of the level 3 it's there for sure. So that's the only build I can see pop off.
Agreed.
But even then,
I don't know.
Is it enough?
It has no strong game plan besides trying to do shitloads of damage.
Yep, assloads of damage. So it seems fun. I was kind of expecting more from this set. I feel like this anime is pretty popular. So, and generally pretty popular animes get really strong sets. But there's a lot more popular sets coming out in Weiß Schwarz this year, like Spy Family, Bocchi, Uma Musume. Maybe they're saving all the really juicy stuff for later. So one set had to take the hit. Maybe it was Lycoris Recoil. But maybe we're wrong. We'll see. I do see the potential in that one specific build though, for sure. What I'm most disappointed at is Bushiroad did not make a triple R climax combo of the best scene in the anime of when the two girls were spying on a certain someone. If you know that scene, you guys know what I'm talking about. I am very disappointed did not make that. So for that set,
that's the most egregious part.
Yes, I was waiting for that, and they did not deliver. I know. I thought Bushiroad was brave. I did not think they were cowards. So for that, I don't like this set. How can they do that? But in all seriousness, I don't know. I think that's our final thoughts on this set. I don't think we're gonna do a builds video. Because we just kind of talked about what build we think is gonna be good.
There's like one.
Yeah, that's like the only one I really see.
We won't do one for this.
Yeah, so.
But still hope you guys enjoyed it. Still, if you're stuck in the video for this long, like, subscribe for more top 10s, future content.
Help us out.
And that's gonna do it.
We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.